Hi everyone, it's Melissa, and today I'm going to share with you my TBR for May. So I am participating in a couple of readathons in May. So let's not ramble, let's just get right into it. So the first readathon I am going to be participating in, I'm going to be participating in more heavily in the other readathon. I'm just going to choose like one, maybe two books. So the first readathon I will tell you about is the Asian readathon. This is hosted by Read with Cindy. I will post her announcement video below with all the prompts. I'm not really following the prompts. I've decided I'm just going to read some books from Asian authors and leave it at that. My first book for Asian readathon is How to Pronounce Knife by Souvankham Thammavongsa. So this book won the Giller Prize last year. And the Giller Prize is really the only prize I actually pay attention to. And I've been wanting, one of my goals for this year was to read more Canadian literature. So really want to prioritize this. It's a book of short stories. And yeah, that's really all I know about that. The next on my list is Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. This is a book that I know essentially nothing about because every time someone recommends this book or talks about it, they don't really talk about it because they say, if I say anything, it'll spoil the entire book. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's a dystopian. I haven't read anything on the back. I haven't read anything anywhere about this book. Everyone just says it's really good. I'm actually reading this for my In Real Life book club, so I will definitely 100% be reading this book. If I only read one book in May, it's going to be that one. The next book on my list for Asian Readathon is Severance by Ling Ma. This is, I believe, an apocalyptic book. I've heard it's kind of like a zombie narrative, but not in the traditional sense. It sounds very intriguing. So it follows someone who has moved to New York and started a job, and then the world falls apart. I don't know. It just sounds fascinating. This is going to be a buddy read with Scott from Gunpowder Fiction Plot, although we haven't talked about this buddy read in a while, so you might not even remember we're supposed to buddy read this. Maybe I'll send you a message. Anyway, I'll be reading it regardless. The next book for Asian Readathon, actually, I don't think this is an Asian author, but it's an Asian story, I guess, if you will. It's The Spirit Catches You and You Fall Down, a Hmong child, her American doctors, and the collision of two cultures by Anne Fadiman. I mean, she might be an Asian author. I don't think so. But this is a nonfiction recounting the story of this girl who had severe epilepsy and kind of the clash of these two cultures and kind of the struggle of her family dealing with doctors and the struggle of the doctors trying to treat this child from a culture very different from theirs. This takes place in, I think it's California. Yeah, explores the clash between a small county hospital in California and a refugee family from Laos over the care of Leah Lee, a Hmong child diagnosed with severe epilepsy. I wouldn't say excited to read it because I think it's going to be a very difficult nonfiction book, but anyway. So those are my books for Asian Readathon. The other readathon I want to kind of just dip my toe in is the 1900 to 1950 readathon hosted by Katie from Books and Things. I will link her announcement video below as well. But this is an era that I just really love reading from, so especially books from the 20s and 30s. I just love books from those decades. So I think I'm going to do a reread because rereading books has been another goal of mine this year. So I'm going to reread The Maltese Falcon by Dashiell Hammett. This is kind of one of these hard-boiled detective type of books. It follows, what's his name, Sam Spade? Sam Spade, so he's a private eye and very tropey when you talk about it now, but this mysterious woman comes into his office looking for help. There's a lot of moving parts and there are 10 twists and turns in this novel, and I remember the first time I read it not seeing any of them coming. So very twisty and turny,
And it's been long enough since I've read this that I don't remember a lot, and so I feel like it's going to surprise me all over again. But yeah, that's my choice for the 1900 to 1950 readathon. I think this came out in the 30s. So those are my reading plans for May. Let me know what you plan to read for May. And as always, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll chat soon. Take care. Bye.